Good morning students. Today let's move on to the another topic, that is excretion in humans. This is your last topic in this life process lesson. Excretion in human as well as plants. So what happens in excretion? As you know, the waste materials come out. That is nothing but the removal of the undigested food is called egestion. Excretion is different, okay? The removal of the undigested food is egestion, but excretion is urination. Now, if you see, your body is like a machine. Your body is like a machine. So as you digest the food, what happens? Obviously, undigested food is removed. But what happens inside the body? What happens inside the body? Many chemicals are formed. For example, like nitrogenous waste is produced. So you eat food, isn't it? When you eat food, we have the five nutrients, isn't it? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins. So whatever the food you eat, there is protein, isn't it? You eat protein. So from protein, what do you get? You get nitrogen in your body. In the protein, there is nitrogen, because the protein is made up of nitrogen, so the protein is present in our body. Now if you see in your body, this protein keeps on breaking. Now when the protein is broken, there is something called as urea which is produced. When the protein breaks, there is something which is called as urea which is produced in your body, and this urea is very toxic. So what is excretion? It is the biological process involved in the removal of harmful metabolic waste from the body. It is a biological process where what is involved here? It is involved the removal of harmful metabolic waste, that is urea. Urea is very toxic. Okay, so that is removed from the body. That is called excretion. Now what are the excretory organs? Don't think only the kidney is your excretory organ, but even the lungs, where it removes carbon dioxide, okay, the carbon dioxide is excreted, and even the sweat glands in the form of sweat. So these are also the excretory organs, but mainly we'll study here the kidney. Okay, kidney is as the excretory organ. What it excretes? Urine. So next, human excretory system. Now if you see the human excretory system, it is made up of two bean shaped kidney. Okay, it is bean shaped kidney. Then you have ureter, then the urinary bladder, and the urethra. Now what does this kidney do? It produces urine. Now after producing urine, what it does? They both transfer the urine from the kidney into the urinary bladder. Through what? Through ureter. From the kidney, urine is passed through ureter to the urinary bladder. Now what happens in the urinary bladder? Urine is stored. Okay, for sometimes urine is stored in the urinary bladder, and then urethra will help in removal of urine from urinary bladder. So this is your human excretory system. So in the last class, that is in the transportation, you had studied if any organ is present, there is artery which brings the blood, and there is vein where the blood goes out. Okay, good blood, and the another, that is deoxygenated blood. So likewise here also we have an artery. Okay, we have an artery called renal artery, and then we have vein called renal vein. So the red one is the renal artery and the blue one is renal vein. So this is about the human excretory system. Next we will move on to very important thing, that is nephron. What is nephron? It is the functional unit of kidney, structural and functional unit of kidney. So if you consider kidney, there are small machines inside the, okay, inside this. If you see here, kidney, if you consider kidney, we have small machine in this. Those small machines are nothing but the nephron. So kidney has millions of nephrons, and each nephron produces 1 ml of urine. So let us understand the structure. Okay, now if you see here, we have bowl like structure, isn't it? It is called Bowman's capsule. Then this is actually red thing, so you can see here red color type, isn't it? So that is glomerulus. Okay, that is glomerulus. So glomerulus are nothing but blood capillaries. Now whenever blood capillaries are present, what is helping there? What it does, it helps in exchange. Okay, exchange will happen where the blood capillary is present. Now if you see here, you can see here the tube, isn't it? There is a tube like structure. So this tube, you can see here, okay, this tube is called proximal convoluted tubule, and this, the tube like here, that is loop of Henle or Henle's loop, and this is another coiled tube like distal convoluted tubule, and this is the collecting duct where urine is collected here. So these are the different parts of the nephron. Now in the nephron, if you see, there are 3 steps of urine. Okay, there are 3 steps of urine formation. Okay, urine formation happens in the nephron. So which are those 3 steps? That is ultrafiltration, tubular reabsorption, tubular secretion. Now what happens in the first one, ultrafiltration? So the ultrafiltration. Now here what happens? The blood will come to the glomerulus. Okay, so this is the glomerulus. So the blood will come from the renal artery to the glomerulus, and blood will be get filtered here. And the filtered blood through the Bowman's capsule, this is a Bowman's capsule, will enter into the PCT, that is proximal, see this one, so this proximal convoluted tubule. So in the ultrafiltration, remember, the blood will come to the glomerulus through the artery, and this will be filtered here, and this filtrate will pass through, filtrate is nothing but the blood, it will pass through the Bowman's capsule and will enter to the proximal convoluted tubule. Now if you see the blood consists of RBC, WBC, plasma and platelets. But what happens here, when it passes through the proximal convoluted tubule, only plasma can pass into this. Okay, plasma can pass to the Bowman's capsule and enter into proximal convoluted tubule. Now here the artery which is bringing the blood, it is called efferent arteriole. Okay, that is called efferent arteriole, and the artery which takes the blood out, that is called efferent arteriole. This is efferent and this is efferent. So if you see here, so this is the efferent arteriole and this is the, efferent, this is efferent arteriole. Efferent, if you see, it is little wide because it brings the blood, whereas efferent, it is narrow. Next is the tubular reabsorption. So before that, you can see here water and solutes, that is glucose, amino acids and salts smaller than proteins are forced through the capillary walls and pores of the glomerular capsule into the renal tubule. So next is tubular reabsorption. Now what happens here? Now filtrate has come. Along with this, what happens? Some of the important things also they come. Okay, so since some of the things they come, what happens? This will reabsorb it. Therefore, it is called tubular reabsorption. The tubules, the proximal tubule which is there, so that will reabsorb it. So the reabsorption takes place where? In proximal convoluted tubule, Henle's loop, and distal convoluted tubule. So when the filtrate comes, it comes and even it has some of the important things, not only filtrate, not only the blood, but also it has some important other things. So since the things are present, the substance are present, so it reabsorbs, okay, these tubules reabsorb it, therefore it is called tubular reabsorption. Water, glucose, amino acids and needed ions are transported out of the filtrate into the tubule cells and then enter the capillary blood. Next is the tubular secretion. So you can see the blood vessels, isn't it? You can see the blood vessels here, and from this the waste comes again to the tubules. Tubular secretion is nothing but from this blood vessels, what happens, the waste comes again to the tubules. So that is the tubular secretion. The H plus ions, potassium, K plus, creatinine and drugs are removed from the blood and secreted by the tubule cells into the filtrate. Now what is the pathway of urine? So if you know, all the nephrons are connected to the collecting duct. So collecting duct will join and produces the urine, okay, and this passes through the ureter and from then urinary bladder, and from urinary bladder to the urethra, okay. From urethra urine will come out. So collecting duct will collect the urine and then it is passed through ureter, goes to the urinary bladder and then it will pass through the urethra. Next we'll see hemodialysis. What is hemodialysis? Hemo, you know, it is blood, isn't it? So it is nothing but a treatment that replaces the kidney function and filters waste, removes extra fluid and balances electrolytes, okay. What is hemodialysis? It is a treatment where it replaces the kidney, okay, kidney function, and what it does, it filters the waste, removes extra fluid and balances electrolytes. Let's see how. So if you consider a person whose kidney is failed, okay, you say, isn't it, kidney failure? So like that. So if kidney is failed, what happens? Toxin will accumulate or urine will accumulate, isn't it? Now what we have to do? So we need to purify the blood. That is, from blood we need to remove the urea, okay. Urea will be present in the blood. So from the blood we have to remove the urea. How? There is a mission, that is nothing but hemodialysis process. So this machine will remove the urea from the blood. So this is nothing but it is a process of purifying blood and removing urea from the blood. Now what we have to do here? We have to take out the blood, okay. We have to take out the blood and then we have to pass it through the dialysis machine. So this is the dialysis machine and put it back. Now in this machine, that is nothing but when you take the blood here in this machine, it will be the urea is removed and then again the blood is passed through this pipe to the person. So in this machine, if you see, there are tubes, isn't it? So these tubes are called semi-permeable tubes. Semi-permeable tubes. So these tubes allows the urea to come out from the blood. These semi-permeable tubes allows the urea to come out from the blood and does not allow the other things to go out from the urea, okay. Only this will allow the urea to come out from the blood, and from the urea it will not allow to go anything out. Then what happens? Then there is fluid in the machine, not only tubes but there is also fluid, that is dialyzing solution or dialyzing fluid. Now the content of this dialyzing fluid is similar to blood except urea, okay. The solution which is present here, that is similar to blood. So when the blood goes through the tubes, what happens? Since urea is high in the blood and tubes are semi-permeable, so urea from the blood enters the dialyzing fluid, okay. In the blood, urea is present, isn't it? Now when the blood goes to the tubes, what happens? The urea is separated from the blood. The urea will join this dialyzing fluid because of diffusion. Now what happens? So here if you see, we have to constantly put fresh dialyzing fluid. Now once the dialyzing fluid is over, what happens? We have to again put the fresh dialyzing fluid, because in this dialyzing fluid urea is collected, isn't it? So that is removed. Then when it is removed, again the fresh dialyzing fluid we have to put. Now whatever the waste is collected here, that should be removed. Okay, that should be removed, and then the purified blood is passed to the person. So again we get the purified blood, so it is passed to the person and the person becomes well. Now this is not done only once, but it is done multiple times. Okay, this process is done multiple times to the person. So I hope you have understood. It is nothing but the blood is removed from the person. Okay, now in the blood the urea is present. Urea is very toxic, so this blood comes here, and in this dialysis machine you have the tubes. Okay, and then the dialyzing fluid or the dialyzing solution. Now when the blood enters to the tubes, what happens? This tubes, since semi permeable, it only removes the urea. Blood will be there, it removes the urea. Okay, and from the urea it will not allow other things to come out. Okay, it will be there only. So urea will be joining this dialyzation fluid, and what happens? Since the dialyzing solution is filled with urea, what happens? You have to remove this solution. So when you remove, you have to filter this machine again with the fresh dialyzing solution. Now the fresh blood which you get here, so that is again passed to the person. So this is the hemodialysis process. Next we'll see excretion in plants. So you know plants lack excretory system, but they excrete as well. Okay, plant lack excretory system, but they excrete. So remember, any living organism, what happens? They have the metabolic waste. Okay, in the body the metabolic waste are prepared. Any living organism, they have metabolic waste. If you see in fish, they have excretory product as ammonia. In the human we have urea. In birds, uric acid. Now if you see in plant, how plants excrete? So they excrete different types of waste with the help of various organs. So that is leaf, stem and root. So let's see in the leaves. In the leaves, if you see, they have gaseous waste, they have liquid waste and the other waste. So gaseous waste, if you see, there will be gaseous exchange through stomata. So through stomata, gaseous exchange will take place, whereas oxygen at daytime and carbon dioxide at night. That is, oxygen is removed. Okay, oxygen is a excretory product during daytime, and at night carbon dioxide is a excretory product. In the liquid waste, if you see, that is nothing but excess of water. Now how it is excreted? Excess of water is taken out by the process of transpiration. Okay, loss of water through water droplets. Next is the other waste. So other wastes are removed through vacuoles. So this will happen in the leaves. Even if you see in stem, the old xylem stores waste as gums and resin. Okay, the old xylem that is from the tree, so that they have the gums and resin. So if you see, this is a resin like gum type, you can see on the tree, and the hing. Okay, maybe it is present at home, they use that ing. So that is resin. And gum, you know, you have seen on the trees the gum, isn't it? So these are the waste material that is from the stem. So this is your excretory system of human beings as well as plants.